Hey, what's up, nation? Today I'm going to demonstrate for you guys how to utilize my cheat and recover method when doing a Pendlay row. And now, a Pendlay row is an exercise that doesn't really get a lot of love in the gym. In fact, mostly seasoned lifters are the only other people besides myself that I see utilizing this exercise to its full potential during their back workouts. Now, for me, my back workouts usually start off with a heavy T-bar row, heavy weighted pull-ups, a heavy bent over row, or a heavy Pendlay row. It's always going to be one of those exercises, and I usually utilize at least two of those to start off all my back workouts. I like to always go with two really heavy compound movements. And what's so great about the Pendlay row is it's going to force you to really recruit as much muscle fiber as possible to perform the movement, because each repetition comes from a dead stop. I mean, even if you're doing a bent over row, you can still utilize a bit of momentum or energy that you've built, because the weight is always moving up and down until you finish all of your reps in your set. When you do a Pendlay row, you basically pull as much weight as you can off the ground and then throw the weight back down on the ground and wait for everything to settle and then go again. It's just like a deadlift, guys. When you deadlift, you're supposed to wait until the weight becomes completely dead before going into your next repetition, which is why it's so much harder to lift heavier weight when you stop after each rep versus bouncing. When you bounce the weight, clearly it's much easier to do the exercise with a lot more weight on the barbell. So the way you guys perform a Pendlay row, first let's go over proper form. Proper form is you want to bend over and keep your upper body as parallel as possible to the ground. And you're going to grab the barbell with about a shoulder width grip, and as soon as you're in place, with as much force as possible, as much energy as you can put into the movement, you're going to explosively rip the barbell off the ground and thrust it into your torso. It's going to hit between like here. This is like your strike zone, okay? And you're going to pull that weight off, you're going to hit your torso, and you're going to fight the negative the whole way down. The weight's still going to drop pretty quickly, but you want to fight it as much as you can and really focus on tensing and flexing your back as you're doing the movement. Now, I also want to mention, guys, that when you do an exercise like a Pendlay row, when you grab the barbell, you don't want the focus to be like here and pulling from your hand. You want to try to get as much of your back involved as possible. And for those of you with poor mind-muscle connection, what you want to do is grab the barbell, but focus on kind of pulling through your elbow and your back and your lat like this. So you're grabbing here, but pulling here. I mean, if you wanted to, you could even put wrist wraps on just so you don't grab the barbell so hard that you kind of pull more with your hands instead of your elbow. Now, to apply this to my cheat and recover workouts, guys, it gets intense really quick. Now, like I said, proper form is as parallel as possible. But when you do the cheat reps, you will start to stand up quite a bit. And that's okay, because you're still explosively pulling the weight off the ground and you're still controlling the eccentric portion of the movement. Like I said, the weight is still going to fall quite rapidly to the ground on each rep, but you're still controlling it as much as possible, and all that extra weight from using a bit of momentum to thrust it into the air and then control down, that's going to be what's going to overload your back. That's what's going to help us start to see more strength gains and more muscle gains. As soon as you finish 8 repetitions doing the cheat reps, you're going to take some weight off and then do 8 more repetitions for the recover. And once again, guys, recover reps, you focus just as much on the concentric phase as you do on the eccentric phase of the movement to ensure that you're getting enough volume in so you can see some muscle growth. And because we've pre-exhausted the back so much on the cheat reps, that concentric phase of the recover is going to be so much more effective. If you have poor mind-muscle connection, when you drop the weight and go lighter, you're going to be able to really feel the right muscles moving. And on the recover set, guys, you're still explosively pulling the weight off the ground. You're just keeping yourself basically perfectly parallel to the floor on every single repetition. So if you want to incorporate this movement into your next workout, I recommend doing it as the first or second exercise in your back routine. And I also recommend that you guys do at least 3 to 4 sets. And remember, 1 set counts as 8 cheat reps and 8 recover reps. That makes 1 set. I also recommend that you rest about 60 to 90 seconds in between your sets. And I also recommend, if you're enjoying these videos and you're liking the content, that you give them a big thumbs up, show some love, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you guys have any questions or suggestions for exercises that you would like to see how to properly utilize my cheat and recover method on, make sure you leave those questions down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, more good stuff coming soon. See ya.